So, hi Trent, just want to have a few quick questions with you just to do with the your views on the game and also your kit requirements when you're playing. So just first of all, I mean, how do you see the game and how the way in which it's changed from predominantly, Test cricket 10, 20 years ago, and the way in which it's changed nowadays to,
Yeah, I think the game's pretty healthy. I think with the three versions of the game that we have, Test match, 50 over and 2020, it sort of offers every sort of cricket lover, I suppose, a different aspect. You have the more traditional style of cricket supporter and cricket player, I suppose, that likes the longer form of the game, and you have the 50 over cricket, and then you have the wham bam, thank you man of 2020. So. I think cricket's in a good place. Just come off a very good World Cup in India. We've got a 2020 World Cup the middle of next year. So I think it's in a pretty good place. Test match cricket is probably as good as it's been in quite a few years. With India and England going ahead this summer, and the winner could potentially the number one spot could potentially change if England do very well in that series. So.
Which is your favourite form of the game? I mean, what are your skills favoured to?
When I grew up, I played cricket. I grew up in Australia, so obviously it was sort of two-day cricket there, longer form of the game. So I suppose I'm a bit of a traditionalist. I like sort of red ball cricket and longer form of the game and that sort of thing. But also enjoyed playing 50 over and 2020 cricket because it's exciting. And now with me living in Ireland, with it being sort of probably a minority sport over there. I think the introduction of 2020 cricket is a lot better for the people over there because they're in and out and they're not sitting down and what some people would think is wasting the day.
I suppose beating England helps the game in Ireland, doesn't it? To
absolutely. Beating sort of any full member in a World Cup is great. We've managed to do that on a few occasions now, but I suppose beating the big brother across the ditch, was even nicer. So, and I suppose the style we did it in front of the people, Bangalore and India, a very passionate cricket nation. That was exciting times.
Would you say that was one of your highlights, career highlights?
Oh, it certainly was. Yeah, I suppose. I've got a lot of career highlights. I've managed to captain Ireland over 60 times now, so there's a lot of highlights in that. But just being a part of any victory for Ireland is great. You can see what a lot of the guys do, how hard they work to achieve that. So to get those small little victories is great. Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay. So just moving on to kind of your kit requirements and what a professional cricketer like yourself requires. So think in terms of the most probably the essential piece of kit, the bat. What exactly do you need?
You just need something that's reliable, something that's is certainly going to be able to hit that ball sort of out of the park when you connect. You need to feel comfortable with the bat. I think that probably over the last sort of few years I've felt comfortable with sort of one or two bats. Hopefully I can feel comfortable with every boom bat I pick up, and what I have picked up recently, they feel very nice.
In terms of the branding on bats in comparison to other brands?
Well, I think Boom Boom's probably hit the nail on the head. It's not excessive, it's not in your face, it's just, it puts their statement across, their sort of picture across, nice sort of simple lines, keeping everything sort of in its place, I suppose, and not making a good piece of wood look ugly with too many stickers. I think it's very effective. So if that's the way Boom Boom's company set up, well, I look forward to working with them.
And in terms of the shape of the bat, is there anything you look for in particular?
Not really, no. I personally don't. See, I sort of bat I'm an all-rounder, so I sort of bat down the end of the innings, middle to the end, and I just think anything with a good pickup, lot of wood in it. So the fact of the matter is, in my sort of situation, in most of the cricket that Ireland plays, 50 over or 2020, I'm going to be coming in towards the end of the innings, so I'm going to try and look to hit the ball out of the ground, so boom the ball out of the ground, so to speak.
Do you not look for a light bat or anything like that? Is it more?
Well, you can. It's the pickup, I think. Okay. And, certainly the bats I've had with Boom Boom, the pickup's been great, and they certainly do have a lot of meat in the wood, in the bat. So, I certainly look forward to using them. Yeah. It's
perfect. Okay. And then looking at the gloves, thinking about Do you prefer the gloves, you know, kind of the bend at the fingers or the sausage fingers?
Not really, just anything to protect, because obviously I open the bowling as well, so I
Yeah.
certainly don't want my right hand getting,
Yeah.
you know, two fingers getting broken. So
it's
protection
the
and
main
gloves, yeah. So obviously feel comfortable, you've got to feel comfortable with that, and you know, I think in the way I felt the gloves and seeing the product first up, I think that the quality of the protection gear is very good. So you know, I aim not to be hitting the gloves too many times or hitting the pads, but when it happens, you know, it's good to know you've got a good product behind you. So, you know, and I think that we've got that.
Do you, you know, some gloves have really good kind of air vents and things like that. Are you bothered about them being
I do
breathable,
sweat a little bit, but obviously that's in the sort of conditions that you're playing. You know, obviously with the sort of the summer that we have in England and Ireland, you probably don't sweat as much as you would say in a subcontinent or Australia or something like that. So it's all relative to where you go to, but I'm using the accelerator range, so you know, I certainly do like the air vents they have in the side of those gloves, so you know, it's a bonus for me.
But do you tend to wear inner gloves as well underneath, or?
No, I tend to use two grips of my bat and just use a normal, just the gloves as is.
Okay.
So I'll need an extra couple of pairs of gloves. Okay, lads.
Due to the heat, due to the summer weather, yeah, and then looking at pads. You know, you see these kind of continental pads that only have 2 straps. More traditional pads in England, I'd say, have 3 straps. Is that the sort of thing?
Never really worn a pad with 2 straps, so the accelerator range again has the 3 straps, so I'm sort of comfortable with that.
Is there anything else?
Luckily for me, I'm 6'4", so I have an oversized pad, so Boom have that as well, so that's a bonus for me. So now I've tried the pads on, very comfortable, and like I said, you know, the less balls get hit on that, the better.
So the Boom one's quite lightweight and
lightweight, yeah, it's very good. You know, obviously if I get enough time to spend at the crease, and you know, those little things add up. You know, if you take off, you know, 60 grams, 100 grams, those sort of things. You know, it certainly adds up if you're batting for 5 or 6 hours.
Yeah. And just finally, just to ask if you kind of have any other requirements or have any other thoughts on any other products or extensions to products that you can think of. You know, you've seen this, you know, the new range of protection around your inner thigh and thigh that's all in one. Can you think of anything else that would?
Not really, because I really haven't seen all of the Boom range at present. So, you know, hopefully when I do, you know, I could give the guys some advice. You know, obviously they've got a lot of cricketers now on their books and a lot of high-profile players. So I'm sure they're getting advice off them. Myself, only being new to the company, I'm, you know, just happy to be a part of the team now and to drive the product forward. So, you know, whatever information I can give onto them, I hope it sort of, you know, helps their grow, which, you know, I think we're all in the business to see that happen.
Yeah, of course. Well, thank you very much for your time.
Perfect. Pleasure.
Thank you.